Have you ever been in a conversation and someone asks you a simple question in English, but you freeze? You know the answer. It's right there in your mind. But first, you hear it in your native language, then you try to find the English words, then you try to fix the grammar, and by the time you are ready to speak, the moment has passed. It feels frustrating, right? You feel like you are always one step behind? Well, today, we are going to fix that. I'm going to show you the practical steps to turn off that translator in your brain so you can finally speak English as naturally as you speak your mother tongue. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, we are tackling the biggest wall every English learner faces, the translation wall. You see, when we learn a new language in school, we are often taught to translate. We see a word in our own language, and we memorize the English word for it. That works for passing a test, but it is terrible for having a conversation. Real life is fast. You don't have time to be a walking dictionary. If you want to be fluent, you have to stop translating and start thinking in English. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but that's impossible. I don't know enough words yet. Trust me, you do. You don't need to be a master of the language to think in it. You just need to start small. Today, I'm going to walk you through a step-by-step process. We are going to go from very easy levels to more advanced ones. By the end of this video, you will have a clear roadmap to train your brain. Level 1, the naming game. Let's start with the absolute basics. I call this the naming game. This is something you can do right now wherever you are sitting. Look around you. What do you see? Don't say the word in your native language, say it in English. For example, look at your desk. You see a computer. You see a mouse. You see a cup. The mistake many people make is they look at the object, think of the word in their own language first, and then switch it to English. We need to cut that middle wire. When you see the object, the English word should be the first thing that pops into your head. Try this exercise. Set an alarm on your phone for 3 times a day. When that alarm goes off, just stop for 1 minute, look around the room, and name everything you see in English. Window, door, floor, light. It sounds childish, I know, but you are training your brain to label the world in English. If you don't know the word for something, don't worry. Just skip it or look it up later. The goal here is speed. Connect the object directly to the English word. Level 2, simple phrases and chunks. Once you are comfortable with single words, we need to move up to level 2. This is where we stop thinking in single words and start thinking in chunks or short phrases. In English, words like to hang out together. We rarely just say book. We say reading a book. We rarely just say tea. We say drinking tea or hot tea. So go back to looking around your room. Instead of just saying phone, I want you to think my black phone or holding the phone. This is actually a very popular concept. You might have seen other videos with titles like Stop Translating in Your Head that talk about this. The idea is universal because it works. When you learn words in groups, you don't have to worry about grammar as much. The grammar is already inside the phrase. For instance, if you just learn the word listen, you might make a mistake and say listen music. But if you learn the chunk listen to music, you will never forget that little word, to. So for the next few days, don't just label objects. Label them with an action or a description. Opening the door, blue shirt, hot coffee. Keep it simple. Don't try to make long, poetic sentences yet. Just get your brain used to putting 2 or 3 English words together without thinking. Level 3, the narrator technique. Now we are getting into the real work. Level 3 is the narrator technique. I want you to imagine you are the main character in a documentary about your own life. You are going to narrate exactly what you were doing as you were doing it. This might feel a little crazy at first, and you probably want to do this when you're alone so people don't stare at you. Here's how it works. Let's say you're making breakfast. In your head, or even out loud, say, I am walking to the kitchen. I am opening the fridge. I am taking out the eggs. Now I am looking for the pan. Do you see how simple those sentences are? Subject, verb, object. I am doing this. By doing this, you are forcing your brain to process English in real time. You don't have time to translate "I am opening the fridge" from your native language because you are already doing the action. The action is the trigger for the English. If you get stuck and don't know a word, let's say you want to say spatula, but you don't know it, just skip it, or say the kitchen tool or the spoon thing, and keep going. The goal is flow, not perfection. This is extremely powerful because it connects your physical body movements to the language. When you physically open a door and think, "I am opening the door," your brain remembers it much better than just reading it in a textbook. Level 4. Having conversations with yourself. Okay, level 4, this is where we start expressing feelings and opinions. Describing your actions is great, but it's a bit robotic. Humans are emotional creatures. We have thoughts. So now I want you to start talking to yourself about what you need to do or how you feel. Let's say you are sitting on the bus. Look out the window and think, "It looks like it's going to rain today. I hope I brought my umbrella." "Oh, look at that red car. It's driving very fast." You are having a conversation with yourself. A great way to practice this is to do a daily recap before you go to sleep. When you were lying in bed, spend 2 minutes thinking about your day in English. "Today was a busy day. I went to work late because of traffic. I had a good lunch with my colleague." If you find this hard, you can try asking yourself questions. "What do I want to eat for dinner?" And then answer yourself, "I think I want pizza, but maybe I should eat something healthy." This internal dialogue is the final step before you are ready to speak fluently with others. If you can talk to yourself comfortably, talking to others becomes 100 times easier. Level 5. The monolingual dictionary shift. I have one final tip for you, and this is a game changer. It's called the monolingual shift. When we start learning, we use bilingual dictionaries, English to Spanish, English to Hindi, English to Arabic. That is fine for beginners, but if you are watching this video, you are ready to move on. You need to switch to an English to English dictionary. When you look up a new word, do not look for the translation, look for the definition in English. For example, if you look up the word huge, don't look for the word in your language, read the definition, very, very big. Why is this important? Because it keeps your brain in English mode. The moment you look at your native language, your brain switches tracks. It's like stopping a car and having to start the engine again. By using English definitions, you are learning new words through English. You are building a web of connections all in one language. This helps you understand the nuance of words, too. It's the secret to sounding more like a native speaker and less like a robot. There are many videos on how to think in English, but this specific tip about the dictionary is the one that really pushes you from intermediate to advanced. So, let's recap. Start by naming objects, then move to chunks and phrases. Next, narrate your physical actions. Then start discussing your day and feelings with yourself. And finally, throw away the translation dictionary and use an English one. Remember, this doesn't happen overnight. Your brain is a muscle. If you go to the gym once, you won't get big muscles. You have to go every day. It's the same with thinking in English. It will feel tiring at first. You might get a headache. That is actually a good sign. It means your brain is growing. Just give it 5 or 10 minutes a day. That is all you need to start. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope this helps you break down that translation wall. If you found these tips useful, please do me a huge favor, hit that like button. It really helps the video reach more people who are struggling with the same thing. And if you want to keep improving your English every single day with simple, practical advice, make sure you subscribe to my channel, 10 Minute English Academy. We have a lot of great content coming up that you don't want to miss.